and thank you for joining us on Weather Out West. Here's what we're tracking for you today. Dangerous winter weather is still slamming much of the country from Minnesota to Maine. The powerful system is bringing a brutal end to the year. We'll have the latest there. While the Northeast and Midwest are dealing with snow, the West Coast is looking at the return of rain. Our meteorologists are tracking storm chances as the new year approaches. And speaking of the new year, we are less than 48 hours from 2026. We show you the different states and how they're celebrating. Happy Tuesday, December 30th to you. It is the final Tuesday of 2025. You have less than 2 days to make sure your 2025 New Year's resolutions are complete and lock in your 2026 goals. Welcome to Weather Out West, the hour-long show where we showcase what's happening weather-wise across the western United States. I'm meteorologist Leah Pizzetti. While the West Coast enjoys a brief pause in active weather, we keep our focus to the east with the winter storm that is gripping parts of the Midwest and Northeast right now. The system is bringing not just rain and ice, but hurricane-force wind, creating messy rides home for so many people who are traveling around this holiday week. Take a look at this. Heavy snow blanketing North Dakota, creating hazardous driving conditions. This was in the Fargo area. Snow reduced visibility down to nothing. That combined with icy, snow-covered highways leading to multiple crashes, spinouts, and road closures along the state. That chaos unfolded on Detroit's I-75 as well. Oh my goodness, look at that. A pileup leaving a trail of vehicles. State police say more than 50 cars were involved, partially shutting down the highway. The National Weather Service has issued a snow squall warning right around the time of the crash. Snow squalls are intense blasts of snow that can cause whiteout conditions, a phenomenon that can happen on the West Coast too. Phoenix's meteorologist Crystal Long explains.
It's wintertime in Arizona, which for the Valley basically just means dining al fresco. But just an hour or two drive up the highway, your sunny skies get wiped away by wicked winter weather. Your trip could turn dangerous in a snap if a snow squall or blizzard blows through, blotting out your view and turning the road ahead into a giant slip and slide. A snow squall is a brief but intense burst of heavy snowfall partnered with powerful winds creating sudden whiteouts. This winter weather whiplash usually lasts just minutes to an hour at most. Because it's so quick, totals are typically an inch or less. It can also flash freeze roads in just a few minutes. But with a blizzard, snow doesn't even have to be falling at all. Snow already on the ground gets scooped up by the whipping winds of more than 35 miles an hour. The blowing snow makes it almost impossible to see, with visibility down to a quarter of a mile or worse. A blizzard will blast for at least 3 hours nonstop. If a snow squall or blizzard warning gets activated in your area, put a pause on your travel plans and stay inside. If you're already stuck out on the road, drop your speed, but try not to slam on your brakes. Turn on your headlights and hazard lights and put more distance between you and the car ahead of you.
The wind is a big focus to the east. Relentless wind is threatening millions as well. More than 300,000 people at one point were without power from Texas to Ohio and Michigan. And take a look at this. This is not the ocean, but Lake Erie in Buffalo, New York. Gusts toppling 70 miles per hour, creating waves as this car is swallowed. My goodness, you can see that wind blowing the water there. This is the same system that kicked up tornadoes across Illinois, ripping roofs off of homes and scattering debris across neighborhoods. A mother of a 2-year-old describes the moment the roof was torn from her home.
A terrifying sight Sunday afternoon in Long Creek when Tiffany Campani saw a tornado barreling towards her home.
It came from that way, straight towards the house, shook my whole house. I grabbed my daughter and pinned her underneath me and crouched down, and then the roof fell off.
She says her husband was stuck at the store and started screaming for him once she realized the roof was gone.
I thank God that my best friend was with me and her husband, and they helped me through the panic of it all. My neighbors down that way and that way bust through the door as soon as it was over and grabbed the kids, and we all went over to the neighbor's house, and it was I'm very grateful for the whole neighborhood.
A couple of miles away at the corner of Walmsley and Sand Creek, one home's garage and roof completely collapsed. Greg Bandelow lives down the road and came over to make sure nobody was trapped inside.
The deputy sheriff was here and nobody in the house, so we're kind of glad of that, but they found out they were in Mexico. When you get a call in Mexico that your house got hit by a tornado, that's devastating, I would say.
Bandelow said the family had just moved into the home a few weeks ago. Over at the Campani house, cleanup is in the early stages.
We're getting all of our stuff that we can salvage out of the house, and thankfully we have insurance, so they're here to help us work through the process. I've never been through any of this in my whole life. No fires, no tornadoes, no water, no nothing. This is our first house, so it's very shocking.
All of these treacherous conditions brought temporary ground stops to multiple airports. FlightAware reports nearly 10,000 flights were delayed and almost 1,000 canceled Monday. As we continue to watch the east, we shift our focus to the west now, starting our West Coast forecasts in Northern California. Meteorologist Brendan Minchef has issued a weather impact aid due to the incoming storm heading toward California right now. Here's the forecast from Sacramento.
Hey everybody, meteorologist Brendan Minchef here in Sacramento, and we've got another weather impact alert for Northern California because it is likely to be a soggy start to the new year. Rain in the valley and snow up in the high country. More on that in a moment, but today fairly quiet, dry, some clouds, some fog in the valley. Up high though, some sunshine. 45 South Lake Tahoe, 47 in Truckee, 62 in Nevada City, 59 Placerville, 59 in Arnold, 61 down in Sonora, and 59 in Groveland, 55 in Pinehurst, up in Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Park, 55 there. As we look towards Yosemite, also 55 in Yosemite, 50 in Madera, and 50 in Fresno as well. Zooming out a little bit as we look towards the lower valley, 54 in Bakersfield, 50 in Hanford. Out along the coast, we're looking at some 60s. 66 in Gorda, 67 in Big Sur, 65 in Carmel, 66 Monterey, 64 in Salinas, 66 in Santa Cruz. Across the San Francisco Bay Area, low to mid 50s, 55 in San Francisco, 52 Berkeley, 53 in Oakland, 59 Pacifica, 63 in Half Moon Bay. Again, a little bit of sun, but also some clouds moving overhead, 57 in Point Reyes. Up near Shasta, 58 Shasta Lake, 54 in Mount Shasta, 46 up near Wairika, near the Oregon state line. 53 in the Northeast Plateau, and along the coast we got some more 50s. 57 in Crescent City, 59 Redwood National Park, 54 in Eureka, and 58 in Fort Bragg. All right, back down to the capital region now. 48 in Sacramento, 50 in Woodland, 49 Colusa, 48 in Lodi, 46 in Manteca, 46 in Modesto this afternoon. And again, we could see some fog lingering in the valley into the afternoon today. As we look towards New Year's Eve, though, 50 degrees. Weather impact alert begins later in the day on New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, weather impact alert as well. So we're going to see some rain moving back in to Northern California. This is a level 2 to level 3 atmospheric river, so moderate to strong, mainly taking aim right now at the San Francisco Bay area. But this is not as big of a storm as what we had for the week of Christmas. And we'll see that here on Futurecast. As we look at Futurecast through Tuesday, just some clouds building in. This is Wednesday morning now. A few isolated showers in the valley. That's about it. But by 6 p.m., widespread showers from the north coast through the Bay Area, across the valley, and even in the high country. Snow levels are going to be up about 8,000 to 9,000 feet. 9 o'clock, we still see some rain moving through the valley and foothills by midnight. This bringing in the new year, plenty of rain across the valley. But again, not much snow, with snow levels remaining quite high through Wednesday, Thursday, and into the first half of Friday. So continuing through January 1st, 2026 now, we continue to see some rain across not just the valley, but up along the north coast and the far northern part of the state. By the time we get to Friday night, Saturday, we're going to see those snow levels dropping to the pass level. And rain and snow will continue through Saturday, linger into Sunday before the storm starts to taper off. So again, that weather impact alert from from New Year's Eve through Saturday, 1 to 2 inches of valley rain, 1 to 2 feet of Sierra snow at the high passes, and that snow really doesn't get going until we get to Friday. So just consider those holiday plans. But remember, we had a bunch of rain the week of Christmas. That's boosted our numbers for December, even though we're still an inch below normal for the month of December. But because the water year got off to such a fast start, we're actually still more than an inch above normal. In terms of our snowpack, we're getting better, but we're still only about a quarter of that April 1st average. So little ways to go as we look at the foothills and Sierra, looking at rain and snow, and then across the valley, more rain as we roll into 2026.
Thanks, Brendan. Southern California will also tap into that moisture as we ring in the new year. Let's go now to meteorologist Evan Narani in San Diego.
Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Evan Narani in San Diego. We have a mostly dry Tuesday in store. We've already noticed a few very light sprinkles, but what we have picking up going into Wednesday and Thursday, much more intense than what we have in store today. A wind advisory remains in effect across our county, specifically for our inland valleys and our mountains. That's going to be in effect until 1 p.m. today. And what that shows is that Santa Anas are still rather breezy this afternoon, bringing in that warm, dry air to the coast and inland, leading us into 70s this afternoon. It will be a warm day out there, about 10 degrees warmer than average, just lacking the sunshine. That's going to be the downside because we're starting to already usher in plenty of subtropical moisture. You can see what that green has looked like across Southern California, San Diego specifically. Plenty of those very light, scattered green showers popping up for the morning so far. It's been rather light. It's been enough to maybe sprinkle the grounds, but other than that, nothing too widespread. The widespread opportunities for rain start to pick up on Wednesday and Thursday in particular. Everyone's asking, do I need to wear a jacket for New Year's Eve into New Year's Day? We'll answer that in just a second, but with the rain that's on the way, you can see our water year totals have actually been very fruitful. We're going to add on to these, so our departure from normal is above average since October 1st. We expect more rain over the next week or so that will help jump these numbers a bit. So we've got more expected. As far as this trough of low pressure goes, right now it's not producing a ton of rain along the coast. A lot more green headed toward the LA area, San Bernardino area, but when we make our way through the rest of our Tuesday, we've got overcast skies. Could be a muggy day. As we get into Wednesday morning, those showers begin very light, but still nonetheless expected to touch almost every part of the county over the course of the day. Our rain totals through Wednesday seem to take us to about a 1/10, maybe 2/10 of an inch overall. And then as we get into the afternoon hours, you can see how things start to taper off very lightly, but then pick up again just ahead of our ringing in the new year. As we make our way to about 8, 9, 10 a.m. on Thursday, on New Year's Day, we've got the most widespread opportunity for rain in the mix. So to answer the question, do we need jackets? I would say yes. Bring a jacket with a hood or the umbrella. Be prepared for some light showers from ringing in the new year into the early morning hours of 2026. But the bulk of that rain, the most heavy rain in the forecast, is not going to come until we get into about 7, 8, 9 a.m. So if you're raging on to the first several hours of New Year's, sure, maybe grab the jacket and be prepared for plenty of rain as the sun rises, the first sunrise of the new year. But aside from that, I think you'll be good to go. Here's the 7-day calling for weather impact alert day on Thursday due to the possibility of thunderstorms. We have an argument to be had for weather impact alert day almost every day this week, but I would say Thursday is the emphasis because that is easily the day of widespread rain. Best opportunity for thunderstorms, best opportunity for some localized minor flooding, aerial flooding, not any flash flooding. Inland valleys, hold on to that chance for rain all the way through the weekend and into early next week. Be prepared for this unsettled patch of weather to exist all the way through the middle of next week. Our mountains and deserts have some ample opportunities for a little bit of sun to peek through, but otherwise that rain chance continues to stay elevated through the upcoming weekend. Be prepared for the unsettled weather to begin starting really today into tomorrow. Back to you.
Thanks, Evan. Turns out San Diego isn't always that sunny. Well, the rain will also make its way to the desert. The timing of rain in Arizona is up next. Welcome back to Weather Out West. Many areas will be ringing in the new year with rain. Meteorologist Crystal Long is in Phoenix with the timing of rain in Arizona.
Hey there, I'm meteorologist Crystal Long in Phoenix, Arizona, where I don't mean to brag. Yes, I do. It's going to be another practically perfect day. We're checking off all the boxes: mild temperatures, sunshine, a light breeze. Oh man, get out there and enjoy every bit of it. Today, we're tacking on an extra 10 degrees above those seasonal standards in Phoenix, dialing it up an extra 13 notches in Payson. I think you get the picture here. All of Arizona is bouncing up back above average once again for us today. So 76 degrees with our name on it. Phoenix, boy, does that sound good. A little mixture of sun, some high clouds. We'll also see some 70s out there in Havasu, Yuma, Tucson, cracking 60 in Globe, on the cusp of 60 there in Kingman, and nearing that 50-degree mark in the Pines of Flagstaff. We still have some breezy winds that will be whizzing on through some neighborhoods out there today, but nothing major. I mean, the warmth has been felt not just this month, but this year. We're looking at January through November, all of the temperatures across Arizona, and we're ranked right now for the third warmest year on record for our Grand Canyon state. There was only 1 month that wound up with below average temperatures, and that was January. After that, the mercury was just overachieving like anything. And then looking at December here in Phoenix, it is a guarantee we are going to be pulling off the record warmest December, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's a stat shared with many of our neighbors across Arizona, perhaps even bringing up our year ranking. So stay tuned for that. But as soon as we switch over the calendar to 2026, we've got some big old changes here. Not going to be really seeing the floor fall out from underneath us when it comes to the temperatures, but we will send some raindrops flying. So I've already advanced the clock here to your New Year's Eve. Here we are in the late morning hours. It's a cloudy affair. Then we get into those afternoon hours. Now we're approaching your dinner time, your evening festivities, and it might be umbrellas and hoodies up here as we could find ourselves dodging some raindrops. It looks to stay light and it looks to stay liquid as well. Snow levels are going to be way up beyond 9,000 feet, so pretty exclusive to just the ski slopes. As we look ahead to the stroke of midnight, there still could be some drippy skies out there, and we're not done yet. Going throughout your New Year's Day, we'll find ourselves in and out of these showers that will continue to unzip even in those late evening hours and could even spill into the early morning hours on Friday. You could see the expectation for our rain gauges across Arizona, anywhere from 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch in the valley, double that perhaps for the higher terrain to our north, and just a few dabs of snow there across the northern and eastern stretches of the state. So for Flagstaff, we're really just looking at rain chances for you. This does knock numbers down on the thermometer, and then we kind of bounce back over the weekend. For the valley, I do have your New Year's highlighted with a 12 News weather impact alert because of those rain chances messing with all of your holiday plans. That does begin in the PM hours on Wednesday, though. Then we shake it all off and enjoy a beautiful first weekend of 2026.
Well, Colorado is dodging this storm. In fact, unusual dry and warm weather continues to dominate the region. Let's go now to Jaden Knowles and Katie Lassell with the warm end of the year in Denver.
I'm Weather Impact Team Meteorologist Jaden Knowles here in Denver, Colorado, and it really just hasn't been feeling like Denver, Colorado. Now, yesterday, it did feel a little bit like average because we did see highs in the mid-40s. That's usual for this time of year. But today, though, we're going to see the low 50s, lots of sunshine. Then guess what? The next 2 days, back to the low 60s in December. Yeah, that's because of this high pressure system that's building in. But as far as precipitation, I just really don't have any precipitation in my forecast, especially as we head into the afternoon hours. But then noticing the early evening hours, we're starting to see a little bit of cloud coverage finally start to roll back in. But a lot of people keep asking, why is it just so warm here across Denver? Well, there it is, that high pressure system continuing to build in, and that's the reason we're seeing the warm temperatures. But noticing there's some slight relief, at least for the high country, because we desperately need that snow. There's a slight dip in the jet stream. That's going to be just enough to give us some moisture for the high country. So this is what it could look like late Thursday evening into early Friday morning. We could see that snow across the high country, but for us across the Front Range, mainly just light isolated showers. But I don't think we'll see a whole lot as in precipitation, because you got to remember the temperatures will be in the low 60s. So I think we'll see more virga, which is just that rain evaporating before it hits the ground, rather than the actual rain. But overall, though, your New Year's Eve plans, I do believe, will be nice and comfortable. Hour by hour, the low 50s as we head into the afternoon hours. And then, like I mentioned, the rest of your 7-day forecast, staying warm, the low 60s heading into the weekend.
I'm 9 News Weather Impact Team's Katie LaSalle. We are bracing for some more snow, fortunately, here across Colorado as we kick off the new year, but temperatures are on the rise ahead of that all across Colorado. We'll start to see those snow and rain showers first show up in the high country Thursday into Friday, but it's really going to be light to moderate accumulations. The northern mountains are Park Range, Steamboat Springs, Rabbit Ears Pass, up north where we could really use some more moisture. That's where we're going to be seeing the most precipitation, but over a big portion of the state, especially northwestern Colorado, it is dry and drought conditions have continued to worsen so far this winter's snowpack. It's what we've been talking about a lot this week, and for the whole course of the time that the ski resorts have been open here across Colorado, it has been pretty pathetic to see those kind of snow totals that we have. We really could use more, and with the warm temperatures because of this ridge building in, it's not looking great for that snowpack. So as we take you through, our next best chance, as mentioned, of seeing some of that mountain moisture will arrive on New Year's Day. It's going to be dry the next 2 here across the state. Easy travel conditions if you need to be anywhere, but early Thursday morning, you can see indicated here by the shades of pink, that is a rain snow mix and rain expected over the southwestern corner of Colorado. Could see a brief rain shower over the metro area, but typically we're talking heavy snow potentials, but it's going to be at the valley level near Glenwood Springs, even near Aspen and Vail, that we could just be seeing some wet weather. Snow then set to accumulate as temperatures drop. So it all depends on the timing of when this moisture moves in, because on Thursday afternoon, it is looking very mild, 40s, even some low 50s for highs in the mountains. But as we start at least Friday morning, as temperatures fall below freezing, around 8 to even 12 inches up over Steamboat Springs, the I-70 drive, and a lot of our Front Range mountains going to be seeing around 1 to 3 inches of accumulation. Breckenridge, A Basin, looking at 1 in the next 3 days, 2 for Loveland Ski Area, but more up near Steamboat. Any little bit of moisture, we will take it, because this is just an unseasonably mild weather pattern. It feels great out and about for the next couple of days with low 60s expected, light mountain snow and mostly cloudy skies on New Year's Day. But the weekend, any plans people have here across Colorado, weather not a big worry. Temperatures just near record values. 63 is the high on Saturday and 65 is the record set back in 1918.
All right, we will hope for snow in Denver. And if you're looking for a reason to visit Denver, here's one for you. A brand new resort is opening in Keystone. The Kindred Resort is set to open in January, offering ski-in, ski-out access for families hitting the slopes. Young skiers can get lessons at the on-site River Run Village Ski School, and kids can participate in Keystone's Kids Ski Free program. After a day on the slopes, families can gather around the fire pits for s'mores. That sounds lovely. Still ahead, we have one more full day of 2025. We'll walk you through the New Year's celebrations happening across the West Coast. All right, take a look at Times Square in New York City on this Tuesday, where the ball will drop in a little more than 1 day. You can see the stage and final preparations are underway. Lots of people out and about. It is a busy day in New York City. Yesterday, organizers for the event did a test launch of the confetti ahead of the celebrations. All right, good. Yes, nice, colorful. Okay, looks like that went well there. Well, here on the West Coast, we have our own ways of ringing in the new year. Arizona has its own versions of the ball drop. Flagstaff has been lowering a 6-foot, 70-pound pine cone at the Weatherford Hotel since 1999. Okay, Prescott drops a 6-foot cowboy boot downtown. Yep, there we go. Lights up and flashes. It lowers, while Show Low, the city of Show Low, Arizona, lowers a giant playing card in front of the public library. So Arizona has fun. In Tucson, it's a taco drop at the Taco Bell, New Year's Eve downtown bowl bash. And in Williams, a 1927 Chevy gets lowered on Railroad Avenue, celebrating 100 years of Route 66. Okay, Arizona knows how to party. All right, let's go to California here. Colorado. In Colorado, you can welcome the new year at the Denver Zoo. They have special zoo lights experiences planned for New Year's Eve and day. Tomorrow, the zoo is hosting a sensory-friendly zoo lights event. Guests can enjoy reduced crowds, low-volume music, and quiet spaces. This, of course, is video from previous years. We just heard from Jaden and Katie that the snow is lacking there this year. On January 1st, the zoo is hosting its last adult night of the season. The 21-plus event features festive drinks, glowing lights displays, and a relaxed way to enjoy the holiday lights after the busy season. Well, now let's go to Seattle. Things are quiet at the Space Needle right now. This is a look on this Tuesday as well. Beautiful view of Mount Rainier in the background as well. This will not be the story tomorrow night for New Year's at the Needle. Yep, that is a cool perspective. This was last year as we rang in 2025. The biggest New Year's Eve celebration on the West Coast will draw thousands to the Seattle Center, and even more will be watching the party to end 2025 from their home. You can see the drone show showing off the text there on the side, and of course fireworks shot off the Space Needle. It is a true party at the Seattle Center. The night will include 500 drones lighting up the night sky. As we head to countdown to midnight, expect a bigger fireworks show than ever before. We love when it gets bigger and better each year. You can watch it all unfold on King 5 and streaming on King 5 Plus. Coverage begins at 11:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, New Year's Eve. Grab the family and celebrate the end of 2025. Welcome in the new year. So much to celebrate. It is going to be a blast tomorrow night across the West Coast. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to head to the Northwest for your local forecasts. This is what the tides look like. The king tides occur when the Earth, Moon, and Sun are aligned to produce the greatest tidal effects of the year. But before you head out, make sure to check weather patterns and plan for the unexpected. Do not get too close to the surf or turn your back to the ocean. So everybody on the West Coast, be ready for that king tide event. All right, well, the rain we showed you in California will also impact the Pacific Northwest. Meteorologist Rod Hill is tracking when the rain arrives in Portland.
On a chilly, frosty for many, not everybody, but for many in the Willamette Valley, I'm Rod Hill coming to you from the Portland area. We have a beautiful sunny day coming up. I want to start with something that's kind of pathetic, tongue-in-cheek pathetic, if you will, and that's our freezing temperature this morning. 30 degrees, no big deal, right? It was freezing, but guess what? This is the coldest temperature at PDX we've had this entire rainy/winter season. And it's only, this is even more pathetic, it's only the third time the airport's gotten down to freezing at all. So that just illuminates for you how mild our winter has been. If you go back to the rainy season of November, and this entire month of December is running at a clip that, if it holds, might go on, get this, to be the warmest mean temperature for the month of December since a PDX record started back in 1941. It's been mild. Now, other temperatures. We've had temperatures in the 20s in parts of the valley a few times so far this December, and we did it again this morning with frost out in Hillsborough 27, Vancouver is 27. Our capital city stayed above freezing yesterday, but not today. 30 was the low. 27 out in beautiful Hood River. If you've never been to Hood River on a sunny day, oh my goodness, it's so pretty. And then we have freezing temperatures up and down a few spots of the coast. Tillamook actually sets inland in the bay, but got down to freezing. All right, so we have beautiful sunshine today as our dry weather pattern continues. Tomorrow still looks to be all dry. We talked yesterday that a 4-day dry run, first time we've done that since the dry streak that started all the way back in November 8th. And complete confidence, I'll simply say, that we will be dry well past the midnight hour that begins 2026. So folks out going to parties for New Year's Eve night, no problems with the weather. Clouds will be increasing. A lot of the areas should be above freezing as well. But we will have clouds, and eventually, the timing is uncertain, but eventually light rain coming up from the south on New Year's Thursday. Rain rates pick up for a rainy Friday, and Saturday could be pretty rainy as well. Showers will back off on Sunday, and the snow levels keep looking higher and higher, more than 7,000 feet Thursday. Could be above 5,000 Friday. If so, that would be rain at Cascade Pass level. Not good for the resorts, of course. Bit of a lower snow level going into the weekend down to 4,000 feet. And just something I'm watching as a forecaster. One of the reasons for the upcoming rain is a low pressure center tracking again south to north. That low, at least I think, has a good chance to develop maybe not alarming or concerning winds, but noticeably gusty winds in the valley. 25 to 35 miles per hour. Friday overnight into Saturday. Just note we're watching that. All right, here's the rain down in Los Angeles that will be coming up New Year's Day and bringing some clouds into our area. But today it's just beautiful sunshine. A little bit of passing cloudiness tomorrow, but still a partly sunny Wednesday, maybe mostly sunny. Here's the light rain coming up from the south on New Year's. Live cameras, beautiful at the coast where it will be in the 50s. Clear blue, bluebird day we called up on Mount Hood. This is the Columbia River early this morning showing the fog banks, and there's our state capitol building with some frost on the grass. Portland up to 48 today. Really, again, it turns into a gorgeous day. Most of us will see light winds. We do have gusty winds out near the gorge. Tomorrow still dry, 48. There's the rain, the clouds, and 46 on New Year's Day. Again, not much rain, gradual push of light rain, but Friday looks pretty wet. Saturday looks pretty wet. Not as rainy as we get to Sunday.
Thank you, Rod. We don't think you're pathetic in Portland. Well, some rain is also heading inland to Idaho as well. Hector Mendoza has the timing of that from Boise.
Well, it definitely looks like winter out in the mountains. So this is a look at Lake Cascade, an icy Lake Cascade. And this was posted on our Idaho Weather Watchers Facebook group. Bill Haas, thank you so much for posting that. And again, you can see the snow there on the ground, some of those icier conditions there on the lake. And of course, blue skies there from yesterday as we had some clear conditions. Still pretty cold as we saw morning temperatures into those low 20s here for today. Other spots below zero. But looking here at Tamarack, a lot of folks enjoyed the afternoon with lots of sunshine and then a lot more of those clear conditions with snow out at Tamarack. And you could see there on those chairlifts, a lot of folks as we fast forward here through this time lapse through most of the day. As we got towards the evening and towards the afternoon, we started to see some beautiful conditions there as the sun started to set. And of course, nighttime looking fantastic out at Tamarack and a lot of places, especially some of those ski resort spots looking great and people enjoying them as they've started to open up just a little bit more. And of course, here through this morning, seeing that sun blazing here and then, but still with some of the colder temperatures here through this morning. But as we look at some of the highs for yesterday, we stuck around into the upper 30s, low 40s across the Treasure and Magic Valleys. We're going to stay about 10 degrees above what we saw yesterday in Stanley and out in McCall. So looking to stay into those mid to upper 30s in McCall and getting close to those low 30s out in Stanley. So as we pay attention to and look at what's on the way, quiet and dry conditions will continue here through tomorrow, but wetter and warmer conditions is what we're going to see to kick off 2026 there for Thursday. And of course, with a lot of the wet conditions, we're expecting snow in portions of the mountains, and a lot of these snow levels will start off relatively high, so we could see some rain in some of those mountain valleys, and it's going to be some of the higher peaks that are expected to see a little bit more of that snowfall and start to stack just maybe about an inch or two as we head towards New Year's and the couple days after that. And then we'll continue with some of the active weather pattern here through Saturday and Sunday. Now, as we look at the big picture setup, we'll see that this high pressure system will continue to bring us those quiet conditions here through Wednesday. And then the next system that comes in will bring unsettled weather. And we're expecting that to really continue here through Monday of next week. But it'll start to diminish little by little as we head towards the weekend and start to enter the following week. So as we see this high pressure start to diminish and move its way off into the east, we'll start off seeing some of those clouds really start to sort of cover and sort of shroud areas across southwest Idaho. We'll start to see some of that moisture coming up from the south, and then we're expecting to see places there further south there. So if we look at the Magic Valley, the Owyhees, those places, expecting to see a lot more of that rain throughout most of the day, but it's going to take until the afternoon and heading into the evening for the Treasure Valley to see a little bit more of some of those showers and a lot more of that widespread, those widespread conditions there as we get towards the afternoon and evening. And then we're expecting to see several rounds coming in there through Friday, Saturday, and then heading into Sunday. So as we look at some of the precipitation totals, again, we're going to start to drop a little bit as we head towards Sunday, and then expecting a little bit more of those scattered showery conditions there all the way through Monday of next week. And as we look at the 7-day forecast, aside from some of the active conditions, we are expecting to see these temperatures to warm up as we'll have milder temperatures into those low 50s, so well above the average, normally sitting around those upper 30s. And that continues, although we'll drop just a couple of degrees, but staying into the upper 40s for Sunday and Monday. And then we'll continue to see a little bit more of that through Monday.
Thank you, Hector. Still ahead, your Washington forecasts, everything you need to know from both sides of the state when we come back. All right, welcome back. Let's take one more recap of your forecast the next couple of days. As of this evening, we're still mostly quiet, but into tomorrow, that's when we'll see that rain first starting to move in to California. It then increases, moves up to the north, and becomes a widespread West Coast rain event, pushing all the way into Colorado, and we will keep the rain moving into the weekend. This is Saturday morning. You see, once again, a widespread West Coast rain event is heading our way. So, while many of us are seeing mild conditions right now, that is going to change as we head into the start of 2026. But, of course, only one full day left. I hope everyone has a great final Tuesday of 2025 and an even better final day of 2025 tomorrow. Thanks for sticking with us for the last hour for Weather Out West. I'm meteorologist Leah Pizzetti. We'll see you back here tomorrow.